break down some of my parenting philosophies and answer some questions about gaming, streaming, and just being a mom and how they all flow together. I was raised in a very aggressive household. If you made a mistake, it was like the end of the world. Oh, I brought home a D instead of a B. Grounded for 6 months. This is why my kids have a voice. If you disagree in my house, that is completely okay. You're your own person with a voice and your own mindset. Maybe the punishment did not meet the situation, or maybe you felt like it was a little too harsh. 6 months of being grounded because you forgot to do a chore, it's a bit ridiculous. Maybe you want to help out around the house just to take some time off. In my house, we're more so about teaching critical thinking other than blind obedience. In my house, you earn respect through communication. Everything is a discussion, but I still have the final say. But don't your kids walk all over you? Hell no. Having a voice doesn't mean they get everything they want. It means they get to present their case. I am still the parent. I still make the final call. But now they know why I made that call, and they respect it because of that. Like a prime example is my kids hate the fact that sometimes I make them have a bedtime. Now, the reason why I make them have a bedtime is because if I don't give them a bedtime, they will stay up all night long, playing their games, watching their TV. So I do make them go to bed at semi-late but reasonable time so they're not sleeping all day long, which is what I've had a little bit of an issue with this summer. But I will say when it's time to shut down and go to bed, my kids don't give me any lip. So I believe in natural consequences. What I mean by that is if I tell you so many times to stop running in the house because you're going to slip and fall, and you don't listen to me and you slip and fall, do not cry. Do not cry. Crawling for me because I'm not coming. Now, obviously, if the kids actually get hurt and they need me, I'm going to, take care of them, but I'm not going to baby every little thing my kid does. And a prime example is the other day I told my kids, stop force playing around because somebody's going to bump their head and you're going to get hurt and you're going to cry. Well, right here, Liam decided to slam his head into my son's gaming chair. I remember right before it happened, I looked at my husband and I was like, don't you dare baby them when they come down here crying. And he looked at me, he goes, why are they going to come down here crying? And I was like, just wait, you're going to find out. 5 minutes later, Aiden and Liam both come into the living room and Aiden goes, I checked it over, he's okay, but he slammed his head on my chair. I looked at it, he had a bruise right here, a nice little knot going on. And I was like, oh, well, I wonder, how many times did I tell you not to force around? Anyways, I got him ice and I made sure that the swelling went down, but I explained to him, I said, this is why we don't mess around. What about respect? Don't they need to respect their parents? Absolutely. I respect them by their intelligence and them being able to voice how they feel about things. They're allowed to have an opinion and you should respect it. This teaches them to go out in the real world and respect that other people don't have the same opinion as you, and that's okay. In return, they respect my experience, my authority, and my decisions. It's respect, not fear-based compliance. How do I balance gaming and streaming and parenting? Okay, I don't know why I get this question from people, but I actually get this question a lot. The best way for me to put it is I did not make these kids by myself. I am married, and I'm not the only one that can parent them. And my kids know my stream schedule, and when I'm streaming, I'm off duty and my husband's on duty. And we kind of do that with almost like a shift change. Now, I'm not saying like he babysits his kids or anything like that, because no, they're your damn kids. You should watch your kids. What I'm saying is I am I would be the first general in charge. So you would go to me first and then he would be second in command. So it's like, if I'm working, you go to your second command. But because I hope I'm doing that right. I was not in the military. My husband was, but I wasn't. So if I did that wrong, I do apologize. But the way that I look at it is I am the fall parent, the one that takes on everything as a parent. But when I'm working, I am that person that doesn't exist for that time. Don't get me wrong. If there's something going on while I'm streaming, my kids are more than welcome to go into my office and come see me. I've had numerous accounts where Liam ran into the wall and cracked open his head. You're going to find out that Liam he does this a lot, and I swear we don't beat him. He literally does this stuff because he can't control his excitement. And I'm okay with him coming into my office. My whole thing is don't come in there and just hang out and just talk the entire time. That's my only thing. I'm fine with him coming into my office. Do you feel guilty about gaming so much? much. No, I don't feel guilty about gaming because I stream 9 hours a week and that's it. I literally barely game outside of that. So I may play some CSGO with some friends, but I'm only playing for like 2 hours. And during that time, my kids are also gaming and my husband is also gaming. And me and my husband are very easily to get to. My door stays open while I'm gaming outside of streaming. So a lot of people that think, oh, parents that game all the time, they don't take care of their kids. That's bullshit. That is complete bullshit. I don't invade my kids' privacy. If they want to hang out with me, they come hang out with me. If they don't want nothing to do with me, which kids go through that phase, they don't have to have anything to do with me. That's life. So I consider myself like a blue collar parent. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, what does a blue collar parent mean to you? So this is my interpretation of a blue collar parent. You do not get a participation trophy with me. Just because you do things, that doesn't mean that you get rewarded. That's not how this world works, okay? I do not coddle every minor inconvenience when it comes to my kids. Life's gonna knock you down, and it's up to you to dust yourself off and pick yourself back up. If you coddle your kid, they're gonna run you to every single inconvenience. I know this because I was coddled with my mom. I'm teaching my kids how to get back up and not to avoid the fall. But there is a big difference from scraping your knee from being reckless and being genuine hurt and in trouble. What is my biggest parenting mistake and how did I handle it? I don't say that I don't make mistakes, but I can't think of any mistake that is like right off the top of my head that I could not handle. Every single thing that I've ever done, I've usually understood why I did them and figured out a way to fix it. And what I mean by that is I've had things happen. I'm gonna pull you up. I am bright. Hang on. Let me turn me down. There we go. I have done things that I may not have been the most proudest of. Like when my kids were younger, the great grandparents would always ask for them to come over and I would be like, yeah, sure, no problem. Well, I didn't know I was doing anything wrong at the time. I thought that I was just allowing my kids to go to their grandparents. But because of how often I did it, it came across like I didn't want my kids around. And that was not the issue at all. That was not the case. I wanted my kids around, but I also did not want to deprive my kids from being close with their great grandparents. But then it got weird and the great grandparents become obsessed with my son, my oldest son. And we had a falling out because they brought up, well, we're just going to adopt them. And I lost my shit. I'm not even going to lie. I love my kids. I do anything for my kids. I don't work because I want to be around my kids. I take care of my kids 24/7. That is my priority. How do you get your kids to come to you when they've messed up? By not losing my shit on them. Kids are going to make mistakes. The whole thing is the way that I do things is I figure out what the situation was. I figured out why they do it. And then we figure out a reason to avoid said issue to happen. I don't let my kids think that just because they come to me that they're automatically going to get in trouble. So like if they break something, my son ran into the freaking window in his bedroom and broke it with his head. I said, okay, what were you doing? And he goes, we were playing Nerf Wars and I got captured. And when they let me go, I took off running down the hallway and I couldn't stop and I slammed into the window. I said, okay. I didn't give a shit about the window. I said, are you hurt? Let me check your head. I checked his head. He wasn't bleeding. It was barely a little bit of red spot because we had a curtain that was thick and that helped everything. End of the day, I don't care about material things that we have in our house. I really don't give a shit about them. So long as my kids are okay, I'm okay. And that's the way it should be. If you don't want your expensive stuff to get broken, don't have your expensive stuff out. I have this entire room full of my expensive stuff. My kids are not allowed to be in here because I don't want them to break something. I have had it where my kid broke my mic on my camera. I was upset. And instead of like flipping out, I was like, why were you touching my camera? One, it was completely my fault. 110%. My camera getting broken was my fault because it was in the living room. It should never have been in a common area. We figured it out. I bought another one. It's the end of the story. No big deal. Whatever. He knows not to touch my camera because it is a very expensive device. Moving on. How does gaming influence you teaching? So I do use gaming as a good way of being strategic when it comes to parenting. Example, gaming will teach you that failing in a video game means you get more information. Same thing with life. When you fail at something that you're trying, like if I'm right here trying YouTube, if I fail at YouTube, every single time that I fail at something, maybe I don't get enough views, I have to look back at my video and figure out what went wrong. It's the exact same thing when it comes to a video game. What did I do wrong? Oh, I jumped too late and I missed the ledge. There you go. This is exactly how I want my kids to approach life. Also, in gaming, you communicate with your teammates. You strategize how things are going to work. And most important, you support each other. The same thing goes on in our household. All right, I gotta finish doing the dishes, but I figured I'll answer some questions while I'm doing it. Literally, y'all are too tall. All right, you get y'all cranked up a little bit. There we go. Got the questions on my phone. That's what I've been answering. So if it looks like I'm looking at a script, I'm reading questions and then answering them. Okay. If y'all can hear my AC unit, I apologize. I'm gonna try my best to do some noise canceling, editing magic and try to get rid of that. However, I still want to continue doing this. I had to take a break because my heartbeat was going way too fast, which they're trying to test me for HOTS now. So we're working on different things here. The question was, do your kids game? Yes, my kids game. I'm a strong believer in allowing your kids to be who they are. And I am big when it comes to allowing your kids to really, if they're into something, let them be into something, don't stop them because you don't understand or you don't get it. Learn. It's like, whenever you date a guy and he plays video games all the time. Well, instead of bitching about it, ask him, what's the agenda of this game? Like, what do you need to do? Where do you need, can you teach me? Learn. So then the next thing would probably be that safety precautions. So I'm very weird when it comes to safety stuff. My 8-year-old does not play online, so I really don't have to worry about much with him. We do not allow him to play online whatsoever. So that's number one. Number two, my oldest does play online. He even streams on Twitch. I don't care. That's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. And I'm not going to stop him. I'm not going to be the reason why he doesn't do something in the world. But every single thing that my kids do, I monitor. I am his mod. I take care of everything on the back end for him. I make sure he does, he's playing with kids at his own age. And I know the kids, kids he plays with. He went to school with one of them and he grew up with the other one. So, and I'm friends with the other kid's mom. So literally she was my babysitter. She's been in my vlogs, her daughter and her, and all of them has been in my vlogs. I'm big about that stuff. So yeah, my kids do stream, or my kids do game, and we all do, game is not the enemy. It's not the enemy. I don't try to allow them to do excessive gaming. If I don't like a game that they're playing, I tell them, hey, can you stop playing that? I don't like it. And they're like, okay, no problem, no worries. I'll play something else. It's whatever. Kids know to respect me and my wishes. I'm not going to come across as a jerk or anything, Jordan. So there's that. All right, the next question is, how do you handle screen time limits? I really don't have a screen time limit. My screen time limit, there's my reason for this, okay? Understand where I'm coming from. I have a child that's virtual. He does virtual schooling. So when school season starts, he has friends and stuff, but he went to public school and all of his friends still go to public school, and I took him out of public school. And there's reasons behind that. If y'all want to know, I can tell you, I don't mind. But his friends play with him online. That's how they hang out. That's how they communicate. They don't live in the neighborhood. He doesn't like the kids in the neighborhood, which I understand. I don't care if my kid wants to play video games. I do try to limit it some. We do have requirements of when he has to get off. We are required to do family dinners. I try my best not to always allow him to be gaming during that time. He needs to focus on, being around the family and being present. I feel like this is really distracting and really loud, y'all, and I do apologize. I got to get this done, though. I'm trying to also make it somewhat entertaining. Why do they do this? Do you ever play games together as a family? Yes. What we actually do is once in a blue moon, I will force my family to get together, and what we do is we play things like Mario Kart or, some kind of Mario Deluxe or something on the Switch. I do not tell, they can play anytime they want to. We try to have family time with it because it's something that we're all into, so why not? What do you do when your kids interrupt your stream? I listen to them. I stop my stream and I listen to my kids. I don't understand why that is so hard for people to grasp. My kids is number one priority. It is not YouTube. It is not Twitch. It is not any of that stuff. It is literally my kids. I do everything for my kids. I definitely don't ever want it to come across my kids is second priority, because that's definitely not the case whatsoever. How do you handle it when you want to start streaming too? Like I said, Aiden is actually currently streaming as I'm recording this, and I'm fine with it. It's whatever. Every so often I'll pipe into his chat make sure nobody's saying anything like disrespectful. And, if they do, I say something to Aiden. I said, you need to fix this because this is not how we're supposed to act. And you don't want people to put out information. So if anybody does put any information, theirs or yours, you need to delete it immediately and make sure that the VOD does not go out. What advice would you give to other gaming parents? Meet your kids halfway. Honestly, just meet your kids halfway. I am not a parent professional. And I definitely don't claim to be because trust me, I can probably be screwing up a lot myself. But at the end of the day, I have 2 kids that get along, that have the biggest freaking hearts in the world. And I feel like I'm doing really good because of the amount of compliments that I get as a mom. My oldest son was taking my youngest son when he was in public school together, was taking him to his class and did that for a whole year so he'd get used to the school. I didn't ask him to do that. He did that willingly. Last night, my youngest son, he keeps on crashing really early, so before dinner. And I'm not the kind of parent that's going to be like, oh my God, don't go to sleep, stay up, do this, do that. No, if my kid's tired, he goes to sleep. He's currently sleeping in my bed. And Aiden looked at me last night and he goes, when he gets up, I'm going to make him some chicken nuggets. I said, you're going to make some chicken nuggets? He goes, yeah. Well, Liam didn't wake up until like 11 and I let him stay up till like 3. And then I took all of his electronics so he'd go to sleep and he went to sleep. My kids do things because they got good hearts. Okay. I don't understand why this is such a shock for people to understand. The results that I get. Does this actually work? My kids talk to me. They tell me about everything. I know about my son's first heartbreak. He tells me every aspect of what happened. I know where my son stands when it comes to that stuff. We've had girl talks. We've had, when I mean girl talks, we talk about girls he was into and what he likes and what he doesn't like. I'm the comfort kind of person. Both my kids come to me willingly and they tell me about anything. If something's going on, they talk to me. How do you balance being their friend versus being their parent? I am not their friend. They will tell you, I am not their friend. I am their parent, fully. And it may not seem like that because I do have more of a gentler approach, a more understanding approach. But no, if my kids up, I tell them. And I tell them where they're up at. And that's just kind of how it is. And I know why some of my videos may seem like I'm not being myself is because I drop the F-bomb a lot and I curse a lot. And in these videos, I try my best not to do that. But at the end of the day, I do curse like a sailor and I apologize. What do other parents think? Some think I'm too lenient and some think I'm strict. Some people call me a helicopter mom and some people say that they wish they ought to do more. And at the end of the day, I don't care what people think of me. When it comes to my parenting and stuff, I really don't care. Because I have 2 boys that are respectful, that are caring, that are kind, that would give anything to people. I don't have kids that are being shitheads running amok, messing up people's property. I have kids that want to be helpful and kind and put positivity back into the world. That was one of the things when I was raising Aiden. I said, the kind of person I want you to be is I want you to look around the world and I want you to see what's missing. If it's kindness, I want you to be kind. I want you to add that kindness back into it. If it's communication, I want you to learn how to communicate beyond anybody else in this world. If it's self-expression, then express yourself. Whatever you feel like is missing in this world, I want you to look at it and then turn it and become that person. That's how you figure out who you are. And it's worked for me. Completely. It has worked for me. So look, I'm not saying my way is the only way. Every kid is different. Every family is different. But for me, treating my kids like people instead of property, giving them a voice while still being a parent, teaching them through natural consequences instead of obituary punishment, it's working. They're growing into good humans and we actually enjoy each other's company. What do you think, guys? Am I a good mom?
You're all right, I guess.
You look like it. You see? Honest feedback. And before can I ask more? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want more content about balancing gaming and parenting, make sure you go ahead and give this video a like. If I get to 100 likes, I'll do a series of this stuff. This is just how I look at life, and we don't pass judgment when it comes to parenting. We don't know the situation, and every household really is different. My kids are not really terrible kids. They're not troublemakers, and I think it's because of how I decided to raise them. I've raised them as a person versus you're the child, I'm the adult. No, my kids have a voice. They're allowed to speak. And a lot of people don't understand that approach. And we're trying to teach them my kids have a voice and they're going to say exactly what they're feeling. By the way, guys, if you don't mind, tell me in the comments, what is your parent philosophy? How do you handle situations? And maybe we can learn a little bit from each other. I think that would be a good idea. But until then, guys, I will catch you in the next video. And thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.